10 years ago.
Yo, this your boy Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you. So I'm seeing reports that the NFL kicked out some bread for the cause of some of this social inequality that's going on in the black communities. So I'm hearing it's between 89 million and 100 million. To me, honestly, it sounds like hush money. It sounds like we'll give you something so you can stop your protest so things can get back to the regularly scheduled program. The protest still must go on. I'm already hearing reports of players not doing this and not doing that no more on Sunday because we got some money out of the deal. That money not going to change shit. What's the money going to change? What are we going to buy with $100 million that's going to change the way black people are suffering out here? What are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with that? Especially when you have political figures blatantly voicing their opinions over a social spectrum like Twitter, for instance. Basically, you got political figures targeting black athletes. Look, I ain't even got to say it. You already see what's going on. A lot of it is targeted towards black athletes. A lot of this stuff. We want to speak about LiAngelo Ball stealing something. That's a black athlete. You want to say Steph Curry's not invited to the White House. That's a black athlete. You want to say stuff like they should be benched for kneeling. Those are black athletes. A lot of this stuff is targeted towards black athletes to make them seem like their form of protest is somehow a disrespect to the country. No, I disagree. Protest is protest no matter who's doing it. So the protests seem to be hurting the bottom line. It's hurting the bottom line so much, and it's hurting the margin of profit for the people who really own the league, that they're willing to pay. They're willing to settle to get this thing done. Hey, here's some money. Put it in these communities. Get something going. Just don't protest. Just don't protest. I don't believe in taking hush money. I believe that the protests are sparking conversation. The protests are sparking a dialogue of things that need to be talked about. I believe it is, in fact, working. It's working. They want to say ratings are down because of the protests. I don't believe that. The average American man is still going to watch football, man. If you're not going to watch football because of some protests going on and a couple players kneeling, then you have hatred for the cause. You have hatred in your heart. You have hatred in your heart if you're not going to watch football because of some black players kneeling. You really feel as though they have nothing to complain about. And then you got analysts on the radio saying stuff like, well, if $100 million ain't enough, then what will be enough? That's in itself is a hateful remark. Nothing will be enough. Nothing will be enough. Nothing will ever be enough. To change the way of one's thinking is the only thing we can do. We can't stop the protesting until all men and women of all color and creed, until everybody's treated equally, till everybody's seen as equally. The protest must go on. The protest must go on. $100 million ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to the NFL, which is why they gave it up. $100 million ain't nothing, man. $100 million? Basically a settlement. $100 million. $100 million. So what should be the price to pay once we prove that Kaepernick has been blackballed? If you're giving us $100 million so everybody can stop raising the fist and stop kneeling, what are you going to give us when we prove that Colin Kaepernick has been blackballed? You can't put a price on. You can't put a price on some of the things that has taken place. You cannot put a price on this stuff, man. $100 million, really? That ballpark figure? Then we actually going to take it? We're going to take that. We're going to take that. And do what with it? What the hell are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with it? We're going to spend $100 million and everybody go get their skin bleached so everybody can be white and be treated fairly? What the fuck are we going to do with $100 million? What are we going to do with it? Everybody black is going to be uplifted now with $100 million. I want to see the programs that are put in place. I want to see the things that are put in place with this $100 million. I hope the players that have these stands and all this and whatnot, I hope they have a real serious plan, because Me, what I would do with the $100 million is I don't actually know. I would have to go to the drawing board and think long and hard. Think long and hard. I wouldn't be able to accept the $100 million unless I had a plan. So now you took this $100 million and now you're on a clock now. Now that you took the 100 mil, you're on a clock. You got to make something shake fast because you took this money. You see what I'm saying? Instead of having them make something shake by denying the money, now you got to make something happen. You got to make something happen because you took the money. Now to rich people, to rich people, money is all that matters. Here's some money. Here's some money. This should solve your problem. Here's some money. Now go solve your own problems. Here's some money. Go solve your own problems. You see how that work? You see how that work? You see how that work, man? I'm just curious. I'm just curious of the plan. So now we got this 100 mil. So now we're gonna have a bunch of meetings. We're gonna have $100 million meetings now. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You are not supposed to take the money. You're supposed to take change, man. You're supposed to put more minorities in power. You cannot do that once you take the money. That's not where the power is, man. Dude, this shit pissed me the fuck off. That's not where the power at, man. The power not in taking the money. The power is in electing minorities so things can change. The power is in trying to get a black owner in the NFL. That's the power. The power is trying to get more black leaders, trying to get more black mayors, more black congressmen. That's where the power is, trying to get more black lawmakers, man. You cannot do that when you take the money. Excuse my language. Still nigga. Still nigga. Jay-Z said it best. I think he just reached $1 billion and he just made a song not too long ago about the story of OJ. No matter how much money you got, you will not be seen as equal, especially if you are black in America. In some cases, man, I have witnessed racism. I've witnessed it has happened to me. It's happened to me, and by no stretch of the imagination am I a down bad person. I'm a middle-class American. I feel as though I shouldn't be exposed to racism because I lead an honest life. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and these millionaires are being exposed to racism. So more millions ain't gonna change it. It's common sense. It's common sense, man. It's common sense. It's common sense. The only way that will change is if they apply that $100 million to somebody who's a minority who's trying to own an NFL team, so somebody can get a seat at the table. It just doesn't make sense. What are we gonna take the money and do? Start more foundations? We got those already, man. We got those. We got foundations, man. We got foundations, man. We got foundations, man. We need to have a minority commissioner, or we need to have a minority owner. Things have to change up. Things have to be equal all across the board. And giving us $100 million will make nothing equal. These are billionaires, man. These are billionaires, man. That shit probably a tax write-off to them, man. You know what I'm saying? That's probably a tax write-off. I don't see the logic in taking the money, man. I don't see the logic in taking it. I don't see the logic in taking it, man. I don't see the logic in taking the money, man. It's just, man. I personally would have handled things different because $100 million ain't gonna change a damn thing. It is not gonna change a damn thing, man. It's not unless we use that $100 million to fund a minorities campaign. So he can be somebody, so he can get a seat at the table somewhere, man. And that's the only way that money gonna make a difference, man. Because at the end of the day, if you want to change things, you have to have. All right, let's look at this like a table. Let's look at it like a logical table. You got a table, and then you got representatives at the table representing a certain group of people. If you have all blue people at the table, who's a representative for the red people? I'm just putting it in plain color. I'm not putting it in any color for any race. If you got blue people at the table, who's gonna represent the purple? Who can represent the purple people? Nobody. The blue people only give a fuck about blue people problems. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to have change, you got to have a Muslim at the table, somebody from the Middle East at the table. You got to have a black person at the table. You got to have a white person at the table. You have to have a Korean at the table, an Asian at the table. You have to have a Latin at the table. You have to have everybody at the table, man. Everybody at the table. The $100 million looks good. It's smoke and mirrors, though, because the table's still the same. The table's still the same, man. The people that are in control while the injustice is going on are still in control. You know? Are still in control, man. And you know, let's level the playing field. That's change. That's change, man. That's change. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, man.